Community Health Network, the official sports medicine provider for the team. Community Health Network offers many convenient ways to access care. Your primary care physician, MedCheck for urgent care, community clinics at Walgreens, improved tools in MyChart to connect with your provider, virtual appointments in primary urgent specialty and behavioral care. Community Health Network, exceptional care, simply delivered. Learn more at ecommunity.com/getcare.
In Westfield, Indiana for USL W League action on this Sunday, June 2nd. Zeke is ready to go, and we hope you are too. My name is Ian Gilmore. Thanks for joining us again on this Sunday afternoon. This broadcast is brought to you by Community Health Sports Medicine, exceptional care simply delivered, Alpha Health and Wellness, official team chiropractor for Indy 11 W League team. AES, accelerating the future of energy together. And CareSource, brought to you by CareSource, so much more than health insurance. On display today, we have Indy 11, the reigning champs of the USL W League, taking on Lexington Sporting Club, one of the teams that will be part of the USL Super League coming this August. This is their W League side. You will see familiar names that you've seen announced as Super League players, and you will see names on this Lexington side, or at least one, that have played for Indy 11 in the past. We'll get to that in a second. For Indy 11, it's a 19-0 scoreline over their last two games, both played against St. Charles. The first one was here inside of Grand Park, finished 10-0. The next one was this past Wednesday, May 29th, when they won 9-0 against St. Charles. So their goal difference is very, very big right now, especially compared to the teams that sit behind them in the Valley Division standings. And we'll take a look at those now as we see Indy 11 on 10 points, 3 points ahead of Kings Hammer and Lexington, who have all played the same number of games. Lexington sits 3 points behind them with a game less played. Indy, the only team in the division you see with that 0 in the L column so far, and after their last two games against St. Charles, that goal difference has ballooned to 21. Kings Hammer, you see, with a -1 goal difference, Lexington +7. This stretch of games for Indy 11 at home in the next week, 10 days, are really, really important. It's going to decide the season. They play against Lexington here, they play against Kings Hammer here, and they play against Racing Louisville here. The results in those three games will most likely decide where Indy 11 finishes in the standings and if they will go back to the playoffs for a third straight year. Lexington, of course, is coming in here trying to disrupt that. A team that has a Super League team coming in the fall, I'm sure they would want nothing more than to kind of springboard themselves into that season with a really, really impressive W League season And if anybody can unseat the girls in blue on top of the Valley Division, that will be nothing short of a massive, massive success in the USL W League. Again, thanks for joining us on this Sunday afternoon, a 2 o'clock kickoff. We will get things rolling officially in about 4 minutes as the teams get set to walk out. Ella Rogers once again will wear the armband for Indy 11. One arm in checkers, one arm with the captain's band around it. And you can kind of see on the right-hand side there, right behind one of the assistant referees, Trinity Watson, who, if you are familiar with Indy 11 games, you're familiar with that name. She played for the girls in blue last year. We'll talk a bit more about her as we go along in this broadcast. So the teams are set and they're ready to go, and the walkout begins. The champs of the USL W League once again looking to defend their trophy, defend their crown. And one of the tougher tests so far this season is on display for them here tonight. It'll be Indy 11 in their home blue kits with the checkers on the shoulder, and Lexington will sport their white top, green shorts, white socks. Zeke is looking to get things going, and so are we here, but we will step aside as they get to the national anthem, and we will get back with you and kick things right after a break on the ISC Sports Network.
So I had no job, no car, nobody to watch my son. And when I finally got a job interview, it was a half hour away. I was just stuck, you know? Then one of my friends told me to call CareSource. I was like, my health insurance company?
We helped Becky with her resume, arranged daycare for her son, and even set up a ride to the interview that helped her get the job. CareSource is so much more than health insurance.
It's very true that it takes a village to raise a child. And when it comes to my healthcare village at Community Health Network, it's all nestled right in my phone. Accessing healthcare is the ability to be connected with your provider and ask a question when you need it. I feel like when I'm meeting with a community nurse practitioner or doctor, they're tuned in to what is going on with me and the way that they can serve me best.
Stand by me.
Hey there, I'm Jake Query.
And I'm Derek Schultz.
Derek, do you know what we do not have in common with Ted Lasso?
What's that, Jake?
We made it beyond 3 seasons.
Oh, we're going to make it like 30, 40, 50 seasons. As long as your heart holds out, that is. Query and Schultz every Tuesday night. You can watch it right here on the ISC Sports Network, on our YouTube channel, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, X, podcast, whatever it is. Just call it whatever you want.
Twitter doesn't exist.
Just make sure Tuesday nights, Query and Schultz, 7:30, all season long right here on the ISC Sports Network.
We outlasted Twitter.
We did.
Back inside Grand Park for this USL W League Sunday afternoon matchup between Indy 11 and Lexington Sporting Club. Let's get to the starting lineups, brought to you by your Central Indiana Ford dealers. Your Central Indiana Ford dealers are a proud sponsor of Indy 11 soccer. Visit your local Ford dealer today for great deals on your favorite Ford vehicle. First for Lexington, 3 changes from their 1-1 draw with Louisville. Vukas comes in for Taylor Fox, who is not in the 18, in goal. Woods and Fontaine replace Caitlin Fishnick and Casey Smekrud, neither of whom have traveled to Indy today. Many coaches on the bench today for Lexington SC, led by Alan Kirkup. Again, Trinity Watson played for Indy 11 in the previous campaign. She is one of 2 USL Super League players that will lace things up for Lexington in the fall. For Indy 11, 8 changes for Brandon Kim and the Indy 11 from their win on Wednesday. Soderstrom, Whitsitt, Martin, Chatterton, and Barr did not travel. They come into this starting 11. Derry, Chester, and Sexton all came off the bench in St. Charles. They start today. No Nora Jackaman as a bench option today, but Wednesday's final goal scorer, Emma Pelkowski, and Penn State's Amelia White are potential X factors off the bench for the girls in blue. 7 of the players in this starting 11 started the W League final in 2023. 2 more came on as subs. Natalie Mitchell and Amelie Derry are the only 2 that did not feature at all. It is the return today for the first time this season of Maisie Whitsitt to the starting 11, who started things last year playing center back, scoring a couple goals from there against St. Charles, and then being an integral part of what Indy 11 was able to accomplish last season. Maybe no play more important than her assist to Aaliyah Martin in this very building for a 3-2 game winner against San Francisco Glens in the semifinal of the W League last year. No Paul Dolinsky today for Indy 11. He is in North Carolina for an ECNL showcase, which Emma Johnson and Lauren Thompson are both playing in, so obviously neither of them will be around as well. Best wishes to them in North Carolina. Sam Dewey as well is coaching down there as well, so best wishes to her again. Indy 11 sits in first place in the Valley Division. Kings Hammer and this Lexington side are right on their tail, 3 points behind with the same amount of games played. The task for Indy 11 every time they're in this building is simple. There's really only one acceptable outcome, and that is win. They weren't able to do it last time. They played Kings Hammer here. That was a 3-3 draw. They fixed things pretty quickly after that with a 10-0 win against St. Charles to run right back up. Ella Rogers will wear the armband, as she always does, for the girls in blue. Maybe not the most vocal player on the field, but is, of course, one of the best leaders they have. And we're underway from Grand Park. Aaliyah Martin and Grace Barr will head things up in the back. That is an early giveaway from Amelie Derry, and then Lexington will look to go forward quickly. Here's Bookhard working down the right-hand side. An early cross into the box. Whitsitt alone up front. She'll have Chester on her left, Katie Soderstrom on her right today in a front 3 for the Indy 11. Here's a first look at Vukas, who plays her college soccer at Bowling Green. That is a wayward header. Whitsitt takes that off the first touch. She was called offside on the near side by the assistant referee. Madison Vukas played exactly half of Bowling Green's season in goal. She started half the games, 9 of 18, and played 45 minutes in each. So although she played in all their games, she played exactly half the season, gave up 10 goals in those 9 starts, 18 games. She plays it to Trinity Watson, who, again, we will talk about throughout this match, but played her soccer last year for the Indy 11, and after that went off to play in Cyprus professionally last year. She played in the earlier stage of the Women's Champions League, Europe's biggest competition. Of course, the final for the men's of that was yesterday. Real Madrid winning 2-0 against Borussia Dortmund. Dortmund with a lot of chances early in that game, but could not put them away. Will that be the case for one of these sides here today? Here's Jenna Chatterton playing left back today. Lizzie Sexton will play right back. We've said it before, when those two play at the same time, they are 2 of the fastest fullbacks that you will see on the field at the same time. Of course, Chatterton is coming off an ACL tear that she did at the University of Tennessee in the fall. She played a little bit in the spring with the Vols, but her first real return to competitive action was the last time she played in this building in Grand Park previously in the month of May. The BYB once again in full voice. A shout out to some of those people who made the trip to watch the men's side in Pittsburgh last night, a 2-1 win. 8 wins in a row in all competitions for the boys in blue. They made their way back this morning, and I'm assuming they made their way back last night and turned into this morning. I'm assuming some of the Brickyard Battalion that made their way might have stayed overnight, or maybe they came straight here. Regardless, they are here for a 2 p.m. kick inside Grand Park for the girls in blue today. It's a 4-3-3 for Indy 11. Again, we talked about those who are across the back, but Amelie Derry will sit in front of that back line as a holding midfielder. Ella Rogers and Natalie Mitchell ahead of her. Mitchell maybe a little bit deeper today than she has been in recent games. She's kind of played more as a 10, as an attacking midfielder, right in behind the striker so far. Today she's looks like more of a central midfield true position. And of course, Chester, Whitsitt, Soderstrom across the front three. Giveaway by Chatterton in the midfield. Really nice tackle there by Amelie Derry. Looks to swing things out to Katie Soderstrom. Almost gets to her feet. It is played out by Steen. Soderstrom quickly into Sexton. Cut out once again well by Steen. Here's Mitchell. Sexton with a chance to serve. Cuts inside and pirouettes back around. Mitchell will play the ball into the box. Keeper comes, gets a punch on it. Whitsitt with a header off the crossbar. Rogers will have a chance. Rogers, it creeps over the line. The captain opens the scoring for Indy 11. The first foray forward for the girls in blue turns in to a 1-0 lead. And you have to question the keeper coming for that first one, and it comes off the bar, and then that's really a save you imagine she should make. Comes off her hands one more time here. Maybe unsighted a little bit. And it crept over the line. I wasn't sure, honestly, initially, if it had gone in by the time Trinity Watson touched it with her hands. Here comes no reason to touch it with your hand. That goal presented by CareSource, so much more than health insurance. Well, that is the start that Indy 11 wanted. That is the start they needed. It's only 5 minutes in, but they have been under a little bit of pressure so far from Lexington here, and that is definitely not the start that Lexington wanted. These first 5 minutes, by the way, brought to you by Fluid Waste Services, Indiana's premier utility service provider since 1989. We also want to thank our partners at Community Health Network. Exceptional care, simply delivered. The press being put on by Indy in that forward right-hand side in the forward third. Soderstrom leaves the throw for Sexton. Sexton has a lot of familiar faces on this side, a lot of grads or players of University of Louisville. Here it comes to Natalie Mitchell. That is just executed to perfection. The ball is cut back incredibly well by Katie Soderstrom, and the Virginia Tech Hokie Natalie Mitchell continues her hot start to the W League season. It's 2-0 Indy, less than 6 minutes in. Soderstrom plays this ball back across, and you will not find a sweeter finish today than that one from Natalie Mitchell. Meets it on the half volley with the instep, curls it into the top corner. And while there may have been questions from Vukas on the first goal, there was certainly nothing she could do about that one. That goal brought to you by CareSource, so much more than just health insurance. This is a dream start for Indy 11. Alboué does well to keep that one in and force Sexton to play the ball up the line. Here is Steen. Steen was a 2023 first-team all-region player at Transylvania University. She'll leave the throw in here to Woods. And for the first time today, I think we can breathe a little bit. That is a rapid start to this game. And Chester's going to put on the pressure, but there you see the composure from Autumn Weeks. Those two played together at the University of Louisville. Here comes Indy again once more. Whitsitt with the ball at her feet. Whitsitt trying to find a pass. She'll spray it out to the right. Here's Katie Soderstrom. Got the assist on the second goal. Looking for the back post. Addie Chester is nearly there, but Dawaher is able to bring it under control and play it out for a throw-in. Dawaher, who will be heading to Princeton this fall. Listed officially on the roster as Elizabeth Dawaher, but everything I find, I believe she goes by Brooks, so I'm sorry if I'm getting that wrong, but we'll go with that for the rest of the game. They find an outlet up front, but Derry is hot on the tail. Press being put on by Albue. She does get a foot to that one. Sexton, really nice turn there. Here's Rogers. Rogers looking wide again to Soderstrom. Sexton making her way forward. Being tracked really well, though, by Woods. Sexton, ball into the box. Watson with time and space to touch and turn. Here's Woods. Plays her college soccer at the University of Illinois. Didn't start a game until the fall of 2023. And then she started all 17 of the games in the season. 40 games in her career, but it was game 24 when she got her first start. And started all the games this past fall. Chatterton of the University of Tennessee gives it away, and here comes Nicholson forward. That pass doesn't necessarily find the feet of Boucard. And coming away with it is Grace Barr. Looking for the long ball over the top to Whitsitt. Barr is used to seeing, I think, Maddie Williams and Sam Dewey in front of her a bit more often. Maddie Williams getting married next weekend. Congrats to her and her fiance Jared. And Sam Dewey is in North Carolina with the ECNL teams this weekend. Here's Autumn Weeks. She is the other player signed to the USL Super League team for Lexington. And she finds her partner in that, Trinity Watson. Boucard on the outside with a bit of green space in front of her. Albue now. Numbers getting forward for Lexington, but Boucard is offside. These next 5 minutes are brought to you by Community Health Sports Medicine, exceptional care, simply delivered. Here's Lexington coaching staff. They can't be too happy with this start. They came out of the gates flying, but then since then it's been all Indy, and those 2 goals have really provided more and more confidence and spark. Here they come again. Chester into the box. That one is a bit more tame. I think she meant to cross it, and it kind of found its way towards Madison Vukas instead. A flurry of a first 10 minutes here in Westfield, Indiana. This front three with Indy, it's interesting. You're going to see him rotate throughout the day. Now Katie Soderstrom is through the middle. Addie Chester's on the right. Maisie Whitsitt is on the left. Sort of a rotation left, if you will, from how they started. Sexton's coming forward. Ella Rogers in acres of space. Mitchell looking for the 1-2 with Rogers, but it was wayward. Soderstrom, Whitsitt wide. One-on-one with Boucard. Whitsitt is another one of those players who played her college ball at the University of Louisville. There's a teasing ball towards the back post. It did take a touch on the way through, so it will be a corner kick to Indy 11. Cuts inside and not sure where. It's kind of hard to tell from that angle where it took that touch, but regardless, it will be a corner kick for the Indy 11. Grace Barr will trot her way forward, I think, to take this. Katie Soderstrom and Addie Chester go short as well. We've seen this from Indy. Sometimes they do play it short. Sometimes I think it might be a ploy to kind of lure defenders out of the box. Looks like Grace Barr will serve this one in. Nope, she'll give it to Katie Soderstrom. And now short to Lizzie Sexton. She tries to curl it towards the back post. It's blocked right away. Katie Soderstrom is onside. She may be able to get through here. Turn towards the end line. That's really nice speed there from Woods, but she does play it out for another corner kick for Indy 11. I want to thank our partners at Community Health Network. Exceptional care, simply delivered. Shout as well to our friends at Fluid Waste Services, Indiana's premier utility service provider since 1989. That corner is flicked away by Lexington. 2 players pressing Chatterton. She lobs it forward. I think Weeks might have thought her goalie was coming to get that. Whitsitt was pressing but is offside. Again, those 2 are former teammates going at it there. Both played at the University of Louisville. Weeks did that for just 2 years. She played at more locally here in Indy at IUPUI for her first 3 years. She played for Racing Louisville's U23 side in this division last year. So she kind of changed her location in Kentucky to play during the summer. She did register for the NWSL draft, didn't get drafted. Instead, will take her talents to the Super League. And I think that's one of the things that the Super League is really going to provide. It's that option and opportunity for players to play professionally. If not in the NWSL, it's a whole nother league. Because you think about the amount of teams, especially across the pond. I think just England, there are so many women's teams. And in the U.S., there's only 12 in the first division. So the USL Super League will change that drastically. And we can't wait to watch it. Hope you do as well. Things have settled down since the 6th minute second goal for Indy 11. We've played 8 minutes since then, and no real opportunities for either side. Nona Reason hasn't been called into action very often yet today. Here's Derry. Plays it wide on the second chance for Chester, but Boucard is there in front of it. Boucard played the 2023 season at Kentucky after transferring from Wofford, where she played the first 3 years of her college career. She will waltz over to take the throw-in for Lexington. I think early on, Lexington are struggling to sort of break lines. Here's Nicholson coming deep, trying to get on the ball a little bit more. And a really nice spin. Tries to cut inside, but there was a tackle put in. Eddie Chester trying to work around. Nicholson once more. Now Borman. Looking for the run down the right-hand side. It will come away to Dawaher. Nicholson now. Looking for the through ball to Woods. Just past the post. Physical battle between Woods and Sexton, and I think Sexton was, I'm not sure how much she knew about Woods being right there next to her, but did enough to put her off. And Woods spewed it just around the post. Nona Reason did well to come out and make herself big as well. How massive is it to have Nona Reason back in this team? Made her season debut in the midweek at St. Charles. She was not late to this season, but didn't start the first few games because she transferred to Clemson in the offseason, and Clemson took a summer trip, or early summer trip to Spain. Nona said she saw a game at Barcelona's temporary stadium, of course with the Camp Nou being renovated, and on her walk in today was sporting a Real Madrid hat. So I think she enjoyed her time in Spain, and those trips, especially if you go with soccer teams and you're watching soccer or playing soccer or touring soccer facilities, how awesome are those, and great opportunities for people in college or in age, really. Mitchell dispossessed by Boucard, and Boucard does well to use her physicality to win a free kick for Lexington. Weeks is over it. Again, played her first 3 years at IUPUI, last 2 at University of Louisville. All freshman team, Horizon League second team in 2021 with the Jags. Indy 11 have done well to move the ball quickly today. Speaking of quickly, here goes Chatterton down the left-hand side. She is rapid. Wits it. Nice foot stuck in there by Dawaher, but Derry, as it seems she has so far today all day, cleaning things up when they get towards the Indy back line. Looking for Mitchell on the way through. Vukas comes and claims. Looking for the long ball. Woods and Sexton once more. That one is headed out by Sexton. No nonsense from the right back. Sexton, another player who plays her college ball at the University of Louisville. There's even players not in the 18s tonight that do that as well. Of note, Carson Cherry, center back for the Cardinals. Hadley Snyder as well. Both of them not in the 18 today, but have featured a few times this season for the girls in blue. Whitsitt. A few defenders in front of her, but a few options coming up with her now. Soderstrom cuts to her right, gets past her defender, has a chance to put a shot on goal. She crosses instead in a perfectly timed run from Ella Rogers, and she is finding her scoring boots this season. Indy's up by 3. Take another look at it. Really nice dribbling by Soderstrom, and how unselfish is that to cut that one back across the goal in a late run into the box by Ella Rogers. Outside of the right foot, acknowledges the assist from Katie Soderstrom, and it's all smiles for the girls in blue right now. That goal brought to you by CareSource, so much more than health insurance. You heard it a lot of times against St. Charles, and you're hearing it a lot of times again today. A 19th minute strike from the captain gives her a brace and gives Indy 3 goals. These next 5 minutes of the first half brought to you by Alpha Health and Wellness, the official Indy 11 W League team chiropractor. Very thankful for them, too, after bus trips like Wednesday. 4.5 hours to St. Louis, 4.5 hours back from St. Louis on those buses. While those buses are very nice, sometimes just being in that position can make the back hurt a little bit. So very thankful for Alpha Health and Wellness. Thank you once again to our friends there. Bookhart and Chester going at it. Ella Rogers, I think in the last 2 seasons, hasn't necessarily been thought of as much of a goal scorer. I think in those seasons, though, she has played in a role that's been a bit deeper. She's got more license this season, it seems, most of the time to get forward. She's even played more so right mid at times rather than central midfield. She's got 2 tonight. She scored 2 in the midweek against St. Charles. I believe she scored in the home game against St. Charles as well. So she's got at least 5 this season. With all the craziness of our 5 home games in 8 days for Indy 11, sometimes it is hard to keep track of those stats. 20 minutes in, 3-0 Indy. Yona Reason with her first goal kick of the day. Nice step in there by Steen, but it does go forward for the girls in blue. Whitsitt is going to get to the end of it here. Cuts inside. Whitsitt across the box, looking for that back post. Here's Rogers once more. Looked to pass that one instead of shooting, which she's done many times today. Might want that one back, but it's more acceptable when you've got 2 through 20 minutes. Steen gets past Soderstrom, but gives it away in the midfield. Mitchell numbers and forward in front of her. Watson cuts it out. Lexington looking to get forward quickly. Woods. We'll say Lexington are doing well to keep composure on the ball and keep possession when they can. I think there's just been a couple wayward passes and times when they haven't been able to totally break the Indy 11 press or break lines, which have kind of led to their downfall so far. Obviously a lot of time to go, but down 3 goals early is not ideal. Chatterton stepping in on that one. Chatterton making her way forward. Outlet to Addie Chester. Weeks does well to shepherd her off the ball. Watson quickly to Bookhart. Borman trying to get around to Leah Martin, but there is that next level experience that Aaliyah Martin has. Spent time in the NWSL. in camps with teams. Here's Whitsitt. Soderstrom on this near side. Now Rogers. The movement off the ball from Indy so far has been immaculate. Here goes Sexton looking for the run of Mitchell, not able to find her. Dawaher. Soon to be a Princeton Tiger this fall. I believe it's Tigers. Hope I didn't get that wrong. Chester cuts it out in the midfield. Back to Grace Barr. Haven't said her name very often tonight, Grace Barr. Loves a diagonal. She completes one here to Katie Soderstrom. Here's Lizzie Sexton. Nearly an inch perfect ball, but a little bit off. Lexington coming forward now. Here's Alboué. Into the corner. Soderstrom, green grass in front of her. Watson trying to track her down. Weeks was in the perfect position. Whitsitt and Chester would have been in acres of space to try to finish things off. But Weeks, again, there's that next level ability, positioning, especially on that one. Those are so difficult as a defender to try to pick your space when it's a breakaway and you've got to make sure a shot doesn't get off, but also you could be dead if the pass is made as well. Indy comes forward again, though. Here's a switch to Katie Soderstrom. Woods gets back. Soderstrom going on that right. Cutting back into her left. Woods keeps chipping away. Soderstrom does too. And the battle is, oh, their boots are tangled. I think a stud got caught inside of a shoelace there. I haven't seen that in a while. Who's... I don't even know if it's a stud that got caught. Did their laces just, like, entangle? Well, that was fun. That was Emma Nicholson tied up with Katie Soderstrom. Nicholson played her first 2 seasons at Kentucky before transferring in the 23 season to Bellarmine. Derry looking for the through ball to Mitchell. Next 5 minutes of this half is brought to you by AES, accelerating the future of energy together. Also want to thank our partners at Alpha Health and Wellness, official Indy 11 W League team chiropractor. Chatterton in space on the left-hand side. Chester out wide. She'll look that way and go to Chester. Chester at speed. Cutting inside, now back to the byline. Bookhard doing really well. That's great defending from Bookhard against Chester. Wins a goal kick. Probably the best piece of defending so far from Lexington, especially from Bookhard there. Weeks does really well to break the lines and find Dawaher there. Dawaher looking for the switch, but that pass is just not good enough. Sexton wins it back, and we'll go back to Aaliyah Martin. That pass gets all the way through to Watson. You can see the frustration from Trinity Watson. Not enough movement off the ball from the ladies in white today. And I think that's part of the frustration as you see her sort of starting to move forward there on the bottom left of your screen. I think she's getting a little tired of trying to pick out an inch-perfect pass to find someone in the midfield. That's been the difference so far today is one, getting forward and being able to finish in front of goal from Indy 11, and the movement off the ball has just been fantastic. Katie Soderstrom looking to get through. That ball was just about a foot away from her foot. Soderstrom played with her sister Susie on this team last year. I don't think Susie will feature for Indy 11 this season. She attends DePaul with it, which is part of it. They kind of go later than most colleges do. I believe school's still going, or if not, it ended recently. We had a pair of siblings on the men's side this year as well, with Ethan O'Brien and Josh O'Brien. Ethan recently loaned out to Huntsville. We wish him the best of luck in his time there. Started things off with a 4-1 win last night, I believe. So congrats to Ethan and good luck the rest of the way. Here's Dawaher. There's a sprinting run forward. Could this be something down the right-hand side for Lexington? Grace Barr is there defending. The cross comes into the box, and Grace Barr slides in and forces a corner. You can't see it because of the long soccer socks today, but Grace Barr was showing off a turf burn she got in training yesterday. And I think then she asked why she does things like that in training. Well, helps for moments like that in games when she executes slide tackles really well. On the stroke of the half hour, Lexington have their first corner of the day. What can they make of it? Ball is curled towards the penalty spot. Nona Reason comes out. Was really authoritative in coming for that. She did spill it. Ends up back on top of it, though. When you're not in a game as a keeper, it's a little bit more understandable that sometimes you're going to come and not be able to make the exact save you want, but the end result was the same. What a long ball that is from Reason forward. Here's Soderstrom seeing it out of play. Press being put on by Lexington. Martin looking to break through. Mitchell out wide to Soderstrom, then it's just a little bit too far in front of her. Touch out of bounds from Woods. Sexton into Whitsitt. Tangle of legs coming together, and that foul will go against Maisie Whitsitt. I don't think neither her nor Steen really knew anything about that. I think it was more of a coming together than anything. But the foul does go against Maisie Whitsitt. Lexington will play the other way. Chester with time and space. Weeks in front of her, defending. Chester cuts inside. Looking, what a ball that is to Maisie Whitsitt. Maisie Whitsitt on the finish, and that is just a well-executed goal. But it's offside. Referee has blown his whistle. He's going to go over to the assistant referee to check things. When we get another look at it, maybe we'll have a better idea. The only thing I could think of, possibly, is if that went off of Maisie Whitsitt's arm. The goal's not going to count. The referee has given something. I'm not sure what it is based on his arm signals. Let's see here. Does it come off that? He can't see from this side. If it comes off her left hand, I don't think it came off the right. She wasn't offside, and I believe that was a direct free kick, so definitely not an offside decision from the referee. I'm sure head coach today, Brandon Kim, will be asking the referee about that one maybe at halftime. We'll see if he gets an explanation. It would have been 4 for Indy. Instead, it's still 3, but they come forward again. That's a shame, too, because that was a really well-executed goal. The ball in from Chester was split between 2 defenders perfectly. The first touch from Whitsitt, good. The finish, good as well. Based on the balance of play so far, I'm sure she'll get another chance at some point. Steen forward, but it's only to Martin. Really nice first touch. The second one wasn't very good, though. Lexington come forward. 2 defenders on the back of Borman. Tatum Borman working forward. Still Borman. kind of working her way back into midfield now, but with her comes Bookard. And it's moments like that that have let Lexington down so far today. I'm going to show you another look of that goal that was called off. That's the only thing I can think that the referees go to, is that the ball comes off the left hand. Of course, the rule is, you know, something like that where the ball is so close to the hand and the hand is in a relatively natural position. Typically anywhere else on the field, that's not going to get called, but the person that scores the goal the ball can't touch their hand, arm in the immediate phase of the goal. And so that's what I think the referees have gone to there. Again, I think the referee has a better view than we do up here, but still, him being able to see that, I think, is dodgy at best. Went through all the right processes, though. He went with his first decision, talked to his assistant referee, and then came to a conclusion. Indy won't like that conclusion. Lexington will, because that keeps them in this at 4-0 and halftime coming up. Gotta think there's not really a viable path back into it for Lexington, but at 3-0, if they get the next goal, we've got a game on our hands. So that could be an important decision from the referee. He doesn't take one there, and Indy come away with it. Amelie Derry switches things to Chatterton, looking for that first-time weak foot ball to Chester, and somehow Chatterton comes away with it again. That's a free kick to Indy. Want to make sure you know about our friends at Johnson Controls. Johnson Controls, the power behind your mission and the smart building partner of Indy 11. Lexington will look to build a wall here. Just a two-person wall as Chester and Barr stand over things. Barr scored one from not this position, but this distance last year. Will she be over it, or will it be Chester who takes it here? Chester feints and goes wide into the front post, and Katie Soderstrom, two former teammates going at it, and Soderstrom and Watson. I'm sure Chester's offside there. Yeah. I don't think she wanted that pass from Katie Soderstrom. Chester isn't happy with something. I'm pretty sure she was pretty obviously offside on that one. She's on the end line. No one else was around you, Addie? Lexington get things back underway. 10 minutes to the break. After a flirty start, the last 15 minutes have been a little less action-packed. Goal called off, but outside of that, no crazy chances for either side. Steen making her way up the flank. Now Woods. Inside to Borman, who has come a little bit deeper in recent minutes. Try to get on the ball. Lexington have a chance to move things forward wide. Tracking back is Chester on the ball. Out wide is Bookard, defended by Barr. Weeks with a chance to put the ball into the box. Her first touch lets her down a bit. Bookard. She's got Alboué out there to help her. Barr keeps that in bounds and will come away with it. That's nice defending from the veteran Grace Barr. We talked about Chatterton's recovery from her ACL, but Grace did the same thing. In the W League final last year, she was carried around the field afterwards, couldn't really walk, and then essentially began her rehab on vacation, because very briefly after the final, I believe she went off to Mexico. I can't remember if that was before or after her surgery, though. But she rehabbed and got back to full fitness, or full health, as she would say, at the start of May. I think about a week or two before training officially started for the W League side, she was fully cleared to get back to normal. That one defended well by her teammates and out for a goal kick for Nona Reason. The next 5 minutes of this half are brought to you by Johnson Controls, the power behind your mission. Battle of the speed. Chatterton gets there first, but it's off of Bookard's knees. Derry has a lot of space in midfield to pick out a pass. She'll go left. Chester. Good tackle put in by Weeks. It'll come all the way across the field. Sexton with Borman right on her back. That's not a very good pass. Woods comes in and intercepts. Really well done to find Nicholson inside. But Nicholson with another wayward pass. Lexington haven't been able to string many together. There have been a couple passages of play where they worked it down the right-hand side. It's always the final ball, or maybe the ball before that has let them down. Fontaine into Nicholson. Derry tracking back. Borman's gonna have one from distance, and that is the first shot on goal and the first save today for Nona Reason. Might have been going just wide, but Reason does well to get on it. Watson heads it down. Steen, now Dowaher. Dowaher once more. Fontaine looking wide. Woods cuts inside and leaves Sexton in the dust. Trying to get past Barr. Barr slides in and will force a corner kick. Now the chance here coming for Lexington. And again, if they get a goal before halftime, pull it back to 3-1, the second half becomes much more interesting here at Grand Park. Brilliant shot there inside the net. You can see the setup. Alboué right in front of Nona Reason as Watson comes forward to stand over this set piece. Many a corner she has taken in that spot last season. She'll do it again in different colors. It's a really nice ball whipped in towards the back post. Header goes up and over the bar. The referee says it went off of an Indy 11 head, so it'll be another corner for Lexington. It was pretty clear that Autumn Weeks headed that out for what should have been a goal kick. Regardless, it's a corner again. Chester definitely gets her head to it that time and pulled away by Sexton. Sexton looking to beat Fontaine. Fontaine does well to win that one, though, because that would have been a 2v2 up front for Indy. Instead, Lexington still have numbers forward. Left-footed ball into the box. Martin with a sure clearance. Steen comes forward with her head. Rogers into the feet of Weeks. Watson with really nice composure on the ball, all the way back to Vukas. Vukas with Whitsitt quickly onto her, and that's why she's got to just kick it out for a throw-in. If Whitsitt can get the ball quickly from Soderstrom, she's got time to turn and space in front of her. Woods coming back on her back. She gets by Steen. Whitsitt still into the box. Tries to cut it back with that left foot. Soderstrom helping. Sexton behind her as well in support. Soderstrom goes byline. Ball towards the back post. Derry, well done from her. Mitchell looking for the reverse pass into Soderstrom, but it was too late. Steen back to her keeper. Once again, Sexton finds it with a bit of time and space in front. Whitsitt tried to flick, but wasn't able to get any contact to it. 3 minutes to go until halftime. Indy with a 3-0 lead in Grand Park here in Westfield, Indiana. Fontaine coming deep to pick it up. Back to Watson. Weeks has gone out wide. I'm not sure if that's a permanent thing at the moment. Dowaher comes deep to get onto the ball. Somehow gets through there. If she can get by one more tackle, she's got some good options in front of her. Dowaher, Chatterton again showing off that speed to come and make the challenge. And the referee gives a free kick in Indy's favor. Chatterton is, when she changes directions and changes speed, she is so quick to the ball, and I think sometimes it kind of almost surprises opponents. I think that ACL is just fine. Chester and Watson battling for it. Chester is offside. Watson's gonna go long. The speed of Woods shouldn't be underestimated here. She'll be able to keep that in if she can get around Sexton, but Sexton does well to just shepherd it out of bounds.
Attention fans, the fourth official has indicated that there will be 1 minute of added time.
As you probably heard, 1 minute of additional time onto the end of this first half. Not many stoppages. I think the longest one might have been to chalk off Indy's potential fourth goal. Other than that, it was really just the 3 goals, a few set pieces, either side. Sexton with Steen right behind her. What a foot race this is down the right-hand side. Steen does well to get goal side, turns Sexton around. Rogers, Mitchell, wide of the net. Probably the last chance of the half for Indy 11. They'll go into the break up 3 goals. Could have been more, but again, since those first 10 minutes, I think Lexington has done well to settle into this game, and we will go to the break with the scoreline at that. Ella Rogers, the captain, with 2 goals inside of 20 minutes in the first half, and splitting her goals was one from Natalie Mitchell, who continues her scoring streak to start the season. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll chat Open Cup, we'll chat Super League, and many more things. You're watching the USLW League on the ISC Sports Network.
Meet Kate. She has a lot to juggle. Family, work, it can lead to trying days and tired nights. But we know Kate, and at Indiana Members Credit Union, we know at some point her space at a premium life may change. IMCU is here to help Kate and you find your space. Now, add on or remodel with an introductory rate of 3.9% APR on a home equity line of credit. Today, it's all about Kate. Tomorrow, it's all about you. Because at IMCU, it's you that matters.
I'm a happy-go-lucky guy, but sometimes I get a little stressed because I'm not for sure what's going to happen down the road. I was at the cancer unit, and when I come out from seeing the doctor, I said something about needing some help with all the paperwork. They gave me a name and a phone number. Her name is Molly. She works over at Community. She tells me, stop worrying, let me take care of it. She is my angel.
Stand by me.
AES Indiana is dedicated to providing you with smart energy solutions that power our lives. Our energy efficiency programs help you save energy and money. From rebates on lighting and smart thermostats to appliance pickup and recycling, you can take advantage of cleaner, more cost-effective energy solutions right here, right now. IPL is now AES Indiana. We are accelerating the future of energy together.
Gets you up to speed on all things Indy 11. And
Welcome back inside Grand Park Events Center in Westfield, Indiana. That's the Brickyard Battalion. Again, I know Travis Phelps was one of them. I'm not sure all the people that made their way to Pittsburgh yesterday to cheer on the men's team and see a 2-1 win, but some of them have made their way back here for a 2 p.m. kickoff on this Sunday. Some notes on Lexington SC. This is the 4th away game in a row for Lexington. They played at St. Charles, they played at Kings Hammer, they played at Racing Louisville, and today they play at Indy 11. So you do wonder if that plays a little part in the maybe slow start, trying to get their legs under them again, coming off a bus ride for the 4th game in a row. It does switch around later in the season. Their last 3 games are at home. Indy, the first of those 3 on June 18th. Of course, if you're watching this game and you don't know about the USL Super League, I think you've been living under a rock. Lexington SC is one of the teams who will be in the inaugural season of the USL Super League coming in August. Their fall schedule dropped last week, or this past week. They begin the Super League season August 25th at Carolina Ascent and have their home opener on September 8th against Tampa Bay Sun. Again, Trinity Watson and Autumn Weeks will be 2 of the players on that team. We've started to see player announcements throughout the league coming in the past months, but especially weeks. It has picked up a bit. I know Tampa Bay Sun, I think, had the first 3 announced players, and they've had even more lately. We talked, earlier I said Autumn Weeks registered for the draft, NWSL draft, didn't get drafted. But there's even, again, with there only being 12 teams in the NWSL, and there only being, 25 players on each team, we're only talking, let's do math, but that's, 300 players total, I think, ish, in the NWSL, and there's way more, I think, talented women's soccer players than that. So I think that's, again, an avenue that the USL Super League can take. And there's players that got drafted this year, just obviously being a Michigan State alum myself. Celia Gaynor was drafted by the Red Stars in the 4th round. I think did camp with them, but didn't necessarily make the team. I don't know how they do roster cuts or whatever, but she got announced this week as one of the players that will be in the USL Super League. I believe in Tampa Bay, too. I could be getting that wrong. But, so that's an avenue for players, and I think that the USL Super League, I think getting D1 distinction is really, really good for them. I think that'll attract a level of player. I think we'll wait to see what the level is, and I think we're all hopeful that it is as high as it can possibly be. Zeke is certainly hopeful for that as well. His collar's sagging a little bit today. Loose collar. Someone let him off the chain. Who let the dogs out? Go on. Go on, Zeke. Yeah, you don't need me talking when this is the halftime show. Well, we know someone's having fun on Sunday. We'll let Zeke dance, and we'll take a break, and we'll come back, and we will chat U.S. Open Cup. Indy 11 are into the quarterfinals of America's most historic soccer tournament. We'll chat that after we come back on ISC Sports Network.
And the winner of the Indianapolis 500.
Indiana, winning is in our DNA. And we're winning the future with $22 billion in new business investment, building an economy of the future with unprecedented momentum. Indiana, for the winners.
Hey there, I'm Jake Query.
And I'm Derek Schultz.
Derek, do you know what we do not have in common with Ted Lasso?
What's that, Jake?
We made it beyond 3 seasons.
Oh, we're going to make it like 30, 40, 50 seasons. As long as your heart holds out, that is. Query and Schultz every Tuesday night. You can watch it right here on the ISC Sports Network, on our YouTube channel, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, X, podcast, whatever it is. Just call it whatever you want.
Twitter doesn't exist.
Just make sure Tuesday nights, Query and Schultz, 7:30, all season long right here on the ISC Sports Network.
We outlasted Twitter.
We did.
The main part of my job is definitely listening. People deserve transparency. I don't want the financial part to be something that stops or hinders a patient from having the health care that they need. I try to treat each person like they're my mom or my grandmother, my daughter, my husband. I want them to know that they're not just another phone call for us. And it's very rewarding to know that I can provide peace of mind.
Stand by me.
Debutantes in the round of 16. The Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup. Indy 11. Welcome Detroit City FC.
Let's go.
Okay, I have two things. Whenever I put a team out, my first thing is, do they know the job? And I know you all do. The second is, can they do the job? And what you said previously is, your recent performances have said 100% you can. Whatever happens from here on in, if we play to our best and give our best, I accept any result. If they come off the field a better team than us tonight, but we've given our best, I'll accept. And the last thing I want to tell you is, at 10 o'clock tonight, US Soccer are putting 8 teams, splitting them up into 2 brackets, all the way to the final. If you get through tonight, you have to win 2 of them teams to get to the USL Open Cup final. 2. But you have to take care of business tonight, make your own atmosphere, and get in that round, because there's big rewards for us. Come on.
Hey, here we go. There will be a team from the championship out of the Onstad division advancing to the quarterfinals. Overlap arrives. Lefebvre. Ball bounces up Martinez and in. Indy 11 lead inside a quarter hour in the round of 16. Ball on the top. Knockdown. Williams. Stanley. Header down and in. Lefebvre now. An avalanche of Indy goals. Ball center behind. Outside. Morris. Blocked by Lefebvre. Sort knocks it away. Wow, what a thrilling defensive stand.
You have been incredible at defending. I'm telling you, fellas, you keep doing this, you keep doing it. I don't care who we get in the round of 4, the 4 teams. It can be 3 MLS teams or a Premier League team can come over and play. I'll play anybody. We've been the one that's created chances, and we've been the one that put them in press to get chances. You have to keep going.
That's it, full time for the first time.
Oh, next round. Next round? We're winning the cup.
Woo-hoo-hoo! We love that. Making history, baby.
Indy 11 are through to the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup quarterfinals.
Let's go!
And man, what a night that was. I mean, you know, I think one of the unfortunate things about Open Cup is sometimes, you know, they're midweek, so you can't exactly pack the place every single time, but fans over there were in great voice, and I think we get better crowds than most people do weeknights as well. And just the repercussions that has into the quarterfinals of the U.S. Open Cup is just so massive, and the way that the guys are playing right now on the men's side is just incredible. Like even last night, did not play good, defended really, really well, but in terms of total performance, was not anywhere near their best, and they grind out a 2-1 win. I think that is just huge. A sign of a really good team is winning when you're not playing at your best. So now the reward is you get to go down to Atlanta and play a team with a World Cup champion, guys that have played at the highest level in Europe, a goalkeeper that has played for Spurs in England. Now, who knows how many of those guys are going to play, but regardless, our team is going to go out there, Indy 11 is going to go out and give their best regardless of who is across the field from them. And so I think that's really exciting. I'm sure you'll see some of the people on your screen right now in Atlanta at that game, and we can't wait to bring that to you on social media, Indy 11 app, etc. We will take one more break, and then we'll look at some, actually before we take the break, we'll look at some first half highlights. There are 3 of them to check out, and it is the 3 goals. Things got going early. It was an Ella Rogers goal to start things off. The keeper comes and punches. That header goes off the crossbar. Ella Rogers doesn't catch all of it. It doesn't matter. Ball goes across the line, and Indy go up 1-0 after that. The second one coming through Natalie Mitchell. One of the smoothest strikes you'll see again. Instep, half volley into the back of the net. Indy go up 2-0. The last one, really unselfish from Katie Soderstrom, playing it back across to Ella Rogers, and that puts Indy up by 3. They'll go again in the second half when we come back on the ISC Sports Network.
So I had no job, no car, nobody to watch my son. And when I finally got a job interview, it was a half hour away. I was just stuck, you know? Then one of my friends told me to call CareSource. I was like, my health insurance company?
We helped Becky with her resume, arranged daycare for her son, and even set up a ride to the interview that helped her get the job. CareSource is so much more than health insurance.
AES Indiana is dedicated to providing you with smart energy solutions that power our lives. Our energy efficiency programs help you save energy and money. From rebates on lighting and smart thermostats to appliance pickup and recycling, you can take advantage of cleaner, more cost-effective energy solutions right here, right now. IPL is now AES Indiana. We are accelerating the future of energy together.
It's very true that it takes a village to raise a child. And when it comes to my healthcare village at Community Health Network, it's all nestled right in my phone. Accessing healthcare is the ability to be connected with your provider and ask a question when you need it. I feel like when I'm meeting with a community nurse practitioner or doctor, they're tuned in to what is going on with me and the way that they can serve me best.
Stand by me.
Meet Zach. Day and night, rain or shine, even just out for a spin, Zach gets around. But we know Zach, and at Indiana Members Credit Union, we know he's been saving up to trade up. IMCU is here to help Zach and you drive your dream. Now get financing as low as 5.24% APR on a new or used vehicle. Today, it's all about Zach. Tomorrow, it's all about you. Because at IMCU, it's you that matters.
Getting set for a second half here at Grand Park, which will be brought to you by Sports Tech HQ. Indiana, winning is in our DNA. For more information, visit forthewinners.com. The Indy 11 app, you can take Indy 11 with you wherever you go. Download it from the App Store or get it on Google Play. There's lots of good stuff in there. I don't say that just because I put some of the stuff in there, but you should go check out the Indy 11 app. And we are underway for the second half. This portion of the match is brought to you by Fluid Waste Services, Indiana's premier utility service provider since 1989. A fly forward first for Lexington. They're going to be going left to right, and from the right, I think a bit of sunlight is trying to creep its way in. It's one of the cooler parts about this field at Grand Park is the natural light on the end of the field. Great venue for today. Always great to see people coming in for a Sunday afternoon match here at Grand Park. Not too many weekend games this season for Indy 11. There was a few more of them last year. We will get a Friday night matchup coming up this week. So, Indy does get a little more time to rest, recover, train this week with 4 full days between today and their next match on Friday. Lexington have come out in possession. Doing well to break the press early on here. Vukas will come out of her 18 and kind of become almost a third center back in possession back there. Borman. Bookhard down the right-hand side. Again, it is the final ball today that has let Lexington down. Sometimes they haven't been able to get to that final ball, but when they have, it just hasn't been good enough. Some stats for the first half: 7 shots for Indy 11 to 2 for Lexington. Corners were 3 for the home side and 1 for the visitors. Fouls were even at 3 apiece. Indy 11 was caught offside 4 times, Lexington just once. But of course, the most important stat is the 3 goals for Indy and none for Lexington. That could change here, though. Alboué coming forward. And it'll be a Lexington throw. They'll come forward again. Alboué is no stranger to scoring goals. Went to Grace College in Winona Lake, Indiana, where she scored 44 goals and had 40 assists in 72 games before she became an alum of Grace College. So 84 goal contributions in 72 games for her. What can she do on the ball for Lexington? Here's Borman. Looking far side, Bookhard. Bookhard is not able to slot it home. I think everyone in a blue shirt thought she was offside. The flag never went up. And that is just a huge missed opportunity for Lexington. You'll see here, Aaliyah Martin did not get her lines up, and she kept Bookhard on by a good couple yards. Just a lapse in, I think, focus from the center back for Indy, and a lapse in focus from Bookhard, because that is a chance that at this level you have to put away. That could change the game. And that'll become even more of a sting if Indy go and score in the next couple minutes here. But right now it's Lexington who are on the front foot, looking for Bookhard again. That one cut out by Chatterton. Weeks with Chester right on her back, but what a turn that is from Autumn Weeks. She'll keep flying forward. Wide, Bookhard gets past Chatterton. She'll keep going herself into the box. Back to Weeks. The service floated high and towards the back post and out for a goal kick. That was one of the best passages of play we've seen so far, especially from Weeks and Bookhard combining down the right-hand side from as far back as Weeks being the final player to Bookhard making it all the way to the end line. Indy 11 have come out flat here, and Lexington have come out flying in this second half. Nona Reason finds Chatterton on the left-hand side. Chester with Weeks right on her. The 2 number 10s, not often you see a winger center back battle happening with 10s on the back of both of their jerseys. I think that kind of gives you an idea of how Weeks wants to play in terms of getting forward. Here's someone who gets forward a lot. That's Whitsitt, but she gives it right away to Weeks. Now Watson. That's a dangerous ball across the back line. Chester's right there against Weeks. But once again, Lexington really good under composure, or under pressure, really good at composure under pressure. Dawaher looking to switch to the far side. The whole game, Lexington have continued to try to play out from the back and try to continue to break the press. But here comes Sexton. Sexton on her bike, looking towards the back post. Chester is there, but the header is just over the bar. Really nice executed move from Indy 11. It was the 2 Louisville Cardinals trying to link up. Chester with the diving header. That was almost one that was at a height where you could have jumped and went with the foot. You could have tried to put a knee through it. And I think it was just too low to get the accuracy necessary from Addie Chester. Lexington coming forward once more. This is turning into a bit of a back-and-forth affair at the start of this second half. I think the subs will play a part in this, especially as fullbacks from both sides continue to fly up and down the flanks, they will need fresh legs at some point. Borman from long distance. That is a save for no reason. For the chances that Lexington have had, no reason hasn't really been called to make a save. She really should have been on that Bookard chance from a few minutes ago. But again, that goes wide. All Reason had to do was get big and make herself an obstacle. Rogers. Ball forward to Mitchell. Tackle put in by Bookard, well done. Here's Chester, could she have a chance now? Whitsitt is wide, she'll find Whitsitt. Whitsitt cutting in, looking to go herself, pulling it towards the front post. Whitsitt still on the ball after the tackle came through. Whitsitt once more, now battling with Bookard. Weeks out there, putting almost a 2v1 on, but she's now pulled out of her center back spot. Here comes Mitchell running through. Whitsitt again. Whitsitt cross towards the back post. It's punched away. Katie Soderstrom with the easiest chance she will see this season. Well, she is a clinical striker, but she didn't need to be too clinical with that one. Falls to her feet a yard out with the keeper on the ground, and the pressure put on by Indy in the last 2 minutes pays off. They're up 4-0, and Katie Soderstrom has a goal. Whitsitt's cross to the back post was just searching. I don't know if it came off the bar or off of Vukas' hand. Maybe a combination of both, but you know, I will give Soderstrom's credit too. Look, that first touch off of her leg, that is an important touch, because if she gets that wrong, that goal doesn't happen. So while it was an easy chance, eventually she does well to make it happen. Again, that goal brought to you by CareSource, so much more than health insurance. Here comes Soderstrom again. This is kind of the territory where when Indy gets a goal, you got to be careful as the other team not to let the floodgates open, because they get one and then they get another and then they keep coming. I'm not sure that went out, but the assistant referee thought it did. It'll be a goal kick. Soderstrom has only featured in the home games so far this year, but they've been high-scoring home games. 10 goals against St. Charles, 3 goals against Kings Hammer, 4 goals now against Lexington. That's 17 goals through 2+ games. What will it be by the end of today? Could be more if they score here. That's a reverse pass played through, almost finding the feet of Rogers. This next portion of the match is brought to you by Community Health Sports Medicine, exceptional care simply delivered. Want to tell you as well about Soccer Saturday. If you're not listening to it already, you definitely should be. Every single Saturday, presented by Indy 11. Join Greg Rakestraw every Saturday morning from 9 to 10 a.m. on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. It is mandatory pregame listening for me for men's games on Saturdays. And he always has women's players on as well. Here comes Natalie Mitchell through. She is offside. But again, Soccer Saturday, a must listen. Also want to thank Penn Station. Penn Station, it's all about good taste. They have fed us today here on the broadcast. Great subs. So if you haven't been there before or haven't gone in a little while, Penn Station is definitely a place where you should be going. And CareSource, you heard them, all the goals, so much more than health insurance. You'll continue to hear them throughout this season when Indy 11 scores. Probably the smartest investment they've made, especially with the amount of goals Indy 11 are scoring at home these days. There's going to be a yellow card given out here for dissent, I believe. Grace Barr isn't happy with the foul that was just given. Watson and Fontaine will stand over this set piece. Fontaine as well herself familiar to goals and assists. 19 goals, 14 assists in 32 games at the University of Cumberland. She'll run this one over. Watson will play it to her. Not a very good pass though, and Chatterton can spring the break, but here Fontaine does well to get back to that one. Chatterton did extend her arms there, and Fontaine was shoved over, so another free kick to Lexington. Here goes Tatum Borman, wrestling with Grace Barr, who was just cautioned by the referee. Borman is heading into her senior year of high school. She is committed to Mississippi State. So one more year for her in the high school game before heading off to the college ranks. Some substitutions will be made by Lexington. Emma Nicholson will go off. And once we see the numbers, we can tell you who's coming on. The other person going off is Tatum Borman.
Substitution for Lexington SC in the 50th minute. Entering the game is 36.
Leslie Kiesling will be one of the players to come on, I believe. And I believe that is Bernadette Steffen, who has come onto the pitch as well. Here comes Indy forward. Cut out by Steen. Woods, one-on-one with Sexton. She's beaten her a couple times today. Sexton does well to get back across, but the ball does come in from Woods. Here's Dawaher inside the box. Dawaher against Chatterton. Dawaher cutting across the face of goal. I think that gave Nona Reason something to think about. Kept in on the far side by Woods. Mano with Sexton again, but the pass not as good this time. Soderstrom clears up towards Whitsitt. Whitsitt with a height advantage against Steen, but Steen does well defensively there to get it back to her keeper. Watson with a touch inside. Oh, the composure there from Watson to just cut that inside of Derry. Really, really nice. Now Bookhard comes forward. Numbers getting towards the box for Lexington. Again, that final ball just not doing it. I want to tell you about the IMCU debit card. You can show your Indy 11 pride and get your exclusive IMCU Indy 11 debit card at any IMCU branch or online at imcu.com today. Martin into Rogers. Rogers a giveaway to Woods. Martin off of Woods. Will stop and make sure she's okay. That was at point blank range, and that was with the full force of an Aaliyah Martin clearance. So Woods looks to be okay. We'll walk, not off, but under her own power. And Nona Reason will get us going again. Right on the hour mark here in Westfields, Indiana. Long ball forward towards Whitsitt. Really nice knock on by Maisie Whitsitt. Soderstrom. Steen has been really good in this second half, closing players down really quickly. Indy 11 will make some changes. And I think these are to kind of put a bit of pep in the step of the players that will remain on the field, because the energy hasn't been the same for Indy in this second half as it was in the first. Chester will go off, Whitsitt will go off, Derry will go off, Chatterton will go off, Brooke Otto, Abby Unkraut, Amelia White, and Emma Pelkowski will come on. White and Pelkowski scored in the midweek. Kayla Budish will come on as well. Try to figure out if there's any sort of formation changes. Brooke Otto has come onto the field as well, if I didn't say her name already. Here's Pelkowski, teammate of Natalie Mitchell at Virginia Tech. She'll look into the box towards Mitchell, but it was cut out well before it got to her. Referee sets a pick, and Lexington move forward. So it looks like Budish will kind of be a lone striker with Soderstrom off her right, White off her left, Mitchell and Pelkowski in the midfield with Unkraut behind them. Here's Pelkowski from distance. She had one from outside the 18 in the midweek. Unkraut with the ball through to White. Her pace, she'll definitely be able to keep that in, and she does. She gets around Weeks. And that's really good defending by Watson. Really, really good defending. The pass, not so much. Mitchell, White. Blocked by Weeks. Given away by White. Want to make sure we tell you about the Renaissance Indianapolis North Hotel. You can treat yourself to an elegant stay at the Renaissance. It's just minutes away from both Grand Park and downtown Carmel, in a really good spot, especially if you're coming and want to do anything along the lines of eat out or visit some cool places and then come to an Indy 11 women's game just down the road. The Renaissance Indianapolis North Hotel. Here's Soderstrom. Through ball. Sexton is the furthest player forward. The cutback, front post. Mitchell slid and defended by Weeks exceptionally. Dawaher. Again, nice little 1-2 that she's played in the midfield. Pelkowski puts the challenge in. She thought she got the ball. The referee disagrees. And so do most of the crowd. But he has the whistle. And I think she did. I think that's one that everyone would just like to see play on, regardless of what side it is. If Dawaher is the one putting the challenge, I think you'd like to see it play on as well. This portion of the match is brought to you by Alpha Health and Wellness, the official Indy 11 W League team chiropractor. Through ball, looking for Bookard. Otto will see it out. Bookard did well to get there, but Otto was there to make sure nothing happened. Really nice movement off the ball from Unkraut. Good pass from Martin. Doesn't accomplish too much as they go back to Sexton. Bookard read that one from the start and wins it with her head forward. Now here's Alboué. She gets past Grace Barr. The ball into the box. That's a really nice cross, but there was no one there to meet it. Best work of the day so far from Jennifer Alboué, but it comes to nothing. Two more subs are on the way for Lexington. I believe Bookard will go off, as well as Carla Fontan. Both of them have put in a shift today.
Exiting the gate is 14. Entering the gate is 21, and exiting the gate is number 2.
Looks like Nerea Munoz and Gianna Camuso into the game for Lexington. And right away they put the press on, try to stamp things. Brooke Otto on the ball. Leaves it off for Grace Barr. She'll go down the line for Mitchell. Gets past her. Then Weeks is there first. Excuse me, that's Ana Gomez Villa onto the park. number 7 in the midfield. Now freshly on is Camuso. Forward, Dawaher just past her foot. The chances are starting to come a little bit more for Lexington. When I say chances, it's kind of like almost chances. Again, the final ball or the pass into the final player is what has just not been there for Lexington so far today. Inch perfect ball. Now Budish finds the switch to Sexton. Down the line, Soderstrom. Good battle put in with Steen. This time Soderstrom gets past her. Advantage played by the referee. Out for a goal kick. Want to thank again our friends at Fluid Waste Services, Indiana's premier utility service provider since 1989. Watson puts her studs on it, turns the other way. Woods with 2 defenders on her. That is a bold touch inside in her own third, but they come away with it. Sexton making her way forward. Dawaher on her back, had a couple of bites at her. Oh, and that's a nasty collision afterward. I don't think there was any intent on either side there, though. Yellow card comes out from the referee, though. Dawaher did have a couple bites at the apple before the hard foul went in. A couple grabs at the shoulder, kind of shoved her over from the back. And I think Sexton went to get up really quickly, and Dawaher was just on top. So Dawaher goes into the book. Finished up her high school playing days this past year. Barr stands over it. Service in towards the penalty spot. Head comes on it. Now it comes down for Mitchell.
A yellow card caution has been issued to Lexington SC number 6, Elizabeth Dawaher, in the 69th minute.
Brooke Otto on the throw. Plays her college soccer at Kansas after she transferred from the Ohio State University. Here's Mitchell. Mitchell, she's got an angle to go at the back post. I think she tried to, but blocked by Weeks. The next portion of this match is brought to you by AES, accelerating the future of energy together. Sexton in once more and fouled again by Dawaher again. Martin plays quickly to Pelkowski. Sexton. Reason looking long forward to White. White will track down the keeper. Her speed is blistering. It almost caused problems there for Vukas. It still may cause a problem for Lexington. Another, similar to Jenna Chatterton, when Amelia White turns on the burners, it is so quick, and change of pace, change of direction is just blistering. It happens so quickly. Ball searching towards the back post, cut out by Sexton. Now Martin all the way forward towards the back line of Lexington. Unkraut with a header. Sexton with Woods right on her back. Soderstrom with a bit of a hospital ball. And Sexton, no nonsense all the way forward. Watson plays it back to the keeper. White will track this down once more. Composure this time from Vukas. Lexington breaks lines once more. Here comes Skeen. Lexington throw. So I don't believe there will be any more subs for either side. Lexington might still be able to make one, but Indy have used all 5, and they did it in one fell swoop. Unkraut gives away under pressure. Dauer. Cut out at the first defender by Martin. Quickly taken by Steen. Into some space in the midfield. Good pass into the forward. Otto comes forward, cuts it out. Budish will run after it with Weeks right there as well. That's a really nice turn from Dauer to get around Belkowski. But that is a optimistic effort, I think. On the weak foot from about 25, 30 yards out. There are not many players that are going to be able to score from there. Want to thank our friends as well at Johnson Controls. Johnson Controls, the power behind your mission. And smart building partner of the Indy 11. Sexton fouled again. She's taken a beating in the last 10-15 minutes. That time it was Woods. Unkraut using her frame well. Shielding the ball and getting it to Otto. Otto, that's a bad giveaway that could result in something for Lexington. There's the final pass, though, that's just, once again, not there. Martin calm under pressure. Here's White. And when she gets space in front of her, it's dangerous. White going forward, looking for that ball to Mitchell. Finds Mitchell. Mitchell with nobody on her. Cuts it back, but Watson is once again in a phenomenal spot to cut it out. Beautiful flick on. Lexington come forward. Woods and Sexton battling once more. That's been an exhaustive battle all night. They have both earned everything they've gotten. It'll switch flanks now. The cut inside from Camuso. Indy potentially with a counterattack opportunity. White will begin. Weeks puts the tackle in and wins it away. It was a bit nonchalant there from White, especially with numbers forward. It seemed like she could have done a good bit more with that. Camuso. Into the forward. Alboué, the layoff. The ball through. Dauer is in. The tackle put in by Sexton and saved by Reason. Another chance is blocked away by Martin. And the first time they've needed to come up really big tonight, the Indy 11 defenders and goalkeeper do so. Clean sheet remains intact for now. That was a really well-executed offensive move by Lexington. But again, it doesn't come to anything. That was a time when the final ball was there, but the finish is what was lacking. Here's Steen. That just shows you, that should give Lexington a bit of confidence that they can get in and break down the lines for Indy 11, but they have to be careful when going forward as they can leave holes at the back like this one. Budish running onto it against Watson. All the way into the corner. What can she come up with here? What can she muster up? That goes out. Last off of Watson. Bricotto makes her way all the way forward to take this throw. Barr making her way all the way forward, almost into the final third. Indy pushing the press higher up. That line has come up past halfway. And there's a reason why they were able to win it there. Martin to Sexton. Sexton forward again, galloping past one challenge. Finding Soderstrom. Soderstrom with the ball toward the back post. That was good tracking, though, by Dawaher. It's out for a corner. Indy will throw bodies forward because Lexington has everybody back, so no counterattack really to worry about, at least in terms of a long ball up forward to a lone striker. Grace Barr will go over to take it. Katie Soderstrom is short as well. Barr serves, floated past the penalty spot. Mitchell's head is to it first. And then Camuso gets her foot to it. Launched forward, but no one up there to meet it for Lexington. Ten minutes to go before additional time. 4-0 Indy. Goals from Ella Rogers, 2 of them. Natalie Mitchell, 1. And Katie Soderstrom, 1 as well. Maisie Whitsitt had one that was called off in the first half. Watson works her way into midfield to get onto the ball. Plays a really nice diagonal to Camuso. First touch lets her down a little bit. Dawaher plays a nice 1-2. Here come Lexington forward again. Can they make something of this? No, they can't. But no one goes to the ball for Indy 11 until Budish does eventually. We'll recycle back to Otto, and now Grace Barr. The BYB is finding their voice as well as this game goes on. Soderstrom trying to find Pelkowski. It's a foot race to the end line, and Pelkowski will give it up before it gets there. That's out for a goal kick. Shout out to the saxophone. One more sub for Lexington. It'll be the last one of the day. Trinity Watson's day is over. So her homecoming to Indy did not go as she would have liked. Instead, it was much the same as a lot of her performances last year went with an Indy win. Again, 8 minutes left, but with a score of 4-0 and the balance of the way the game has gone, it looks as though that will be the final result, an Indy win. We will play the rest of the game because we have to. That's what you do. 90 minutes for a reason. Lexington comes forward. Here's Dawaher. Wide, Camuso. That's a really nice run through. Left-footed ball into the box, headed away by Sexton. Long distance effort. That is a tame one for no reason, but a save nonetheless, and a shot on target for the ladies in white. Ana Gomez-Villa came off the bench for Lexington in their 1-1 draw against Louisville as well. White doing some defensive duties. Out by Barr. Soderstrom still making her way forward, even in the 84th minute. Trying to find a Budish, unable to, so it'll be a Lexington throw. And I think one thing that's kind of, I don't know, understated is some of these women that aren't really playing this full time, that are out of college and have more 9-to-5-ish jobs. Katie Soderstrom's going to be a teacher in the fall, I believe in a second grade classroom. So how much is she able to play outside of this season, I think plays into fitness questions in terms of being able to play all 90 minutes, but she has not lost a beat here today. I think back to last year, too, when she was sometimes playing wingback in those games deeper in the playoffs, and she was getting up and down the flank all day, all night, and playing 90 minutes in most of those games, I think, or 120. I can't remember if she played 120 in the final, but these last 5 minutes of regular time are brought to you by Johnson Controls, the power behind your mission. Soderstrom cuts it out. Here could be a chance for Indy. It's going to be a 4-on-3 as the numbers begin to come into the box. It's a cutback to Budish. She gets onto it first. She'll lay it back for Pelkowski, who looks towards the back post. Oh, what a ball that is. Amelia White will get onto it. Nice little turn inside, but that's a good stick, and out for a corner by Nerea Munoz. White is definitely someone who can provide a spark off the bench, the Penn State Nittany Lion. She will go over to take the corner as well. It's towards Unkraut. She was gonna be able to get a foot to it. Now here's Martin. Woods does well to win a throw for Lexington. Goes quickly. Pelkowski went over the head of all the players. That is going towards goal. I don't think Vukas got a touch to it, so it'll go out for a goal kick. another one of those where it might have been a cross, it might have been a shot. It was close regardless. Oh, she might have got a touch to that. Either way, I don't think she needed to. White closing down Camuso. Tawaher. Unkraut stepping in. 1-2 with Budish. Mitchell. Soderstrom. 2 in the box for Indy. Soderstrom driving inside with her left foot. I think she was going for it herself. That one over the crossbar. Lexington will continue to try to play out of the back. They've done it well, at least better in the second half than they did in the first, I would say. They've created a few more chances from it here. Only one, or actually 2 big concrete chances for them today. One was a miss. The other was really good defensive work at the last stand by Indy. Ball into the box. Pelkowski clears, but only to the edge of the D. Turn inside by Alboué. Camuso. Alboué, if she's able to be onside, she is. Cross towards the front post, out for a corner. With 90 seconds left of regular time to play. All but one Indy 11 players back into the box in front of Nona Reason. Camuso will go over to take. That's a long run up. That's a great ball into the box, but a nice header defensively from Unkraut. Sexton up well. Weeks with an audacious effort. So this will take Indy 11 on to 13 points from 5 games. Those 2 points they dropped against King's Hammer are the only time they haven't won this season. Next up for Indy is a Friday home game against Racing Louisville, 7 p.m., 7th of June. White is able to get on the end of this. Curls around in the corner like she's done a couple times tonight. Still hanging on to it. We'll play 1 more minute of additional time. Next up for Lexington is a week from today. They host Racing Louisville. So that's a packed weekend for Racing Louisville. They come to Indy and they go to Lexington as well. Lexington will get a week to rest, recuperate, try to put this one out of their mind and get ready for the rest of the run-in. They only play Indy 11 once more, which I think is anybody who only plays Indy 11 twice instead of 3 times is counting themselves lucky this season, every season, to be fair. This was a no-doubter, really, just because of the way that Indy started this game and the way that Lexington just wasn't clinical enough throughout things, really. First half, they didn't create enough chances. Second half, they didn't put their chances away. They had a chance to get back in this game at 3-0 and make it 3-1. Weren't able to do that. And I think that was really the turning point in the second half. And what has led us to a final score of 4-0 for Indy 11. It's a second win in a row at home. Keeps them undefeated through the first half of their season. 4 wins and a draw and a plus 25 goal difference through the first 5 games, the first half of the season for the girls in blue. A brace from the captain, Ella Rogers, tonight in the 4th minute and the 19th minute. A goal in between there for Natalie Mitchell in the 6th. And things done and dusted, put away by Katie Soderstrom in the 53rd minute. Again, the girls in blue are back inside Grand Park on Friday against Racing Louisville, another massive match. The next two are huge for the girls in blue in deciding if they will make it back to the playoffs this season. A 4-0 win for Indy 11 against Lexington this Sunday afternoon in Westfield, Indiana. Convincing from Indy, and they will move on. Again, Friday the next time they're home. This Sunday, a 4-0 win for them. We thank you for joining us on the ISC Sports Network. We'll hope that you join us either again here on Friday or go to the game yourself. This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League. For everyone behind the scenes today, on camera and in the truck, I've been Ian Gilmore. Thanks for joining us on this Sunday, and enjoy the rest of your weekend.
For over a century, Indiana has been the destination for sports innovation and the state where champions are crowned. Now, we're entering a new era with Sports Tech HQ, a place that inspires innovation and invests in entrepreneurs who are changing the game, one startup at a time. Welcome to the crossroads of sports and technology. Sports Tech HQ, home of the game changers.
So I had no job, no car, nobody to watch my son. And when I finally got a job interview, it was a half hour away. I was just stuck, you know? Then one of my friends told me to call CareSource. I was like, my health insurance company?
We helped Becky with her resume, arranged daycare for her son, and even set up a ride to the interview that helped her get the job. CareSource is so much more than health insurance.
AES Indiana is dedicated to providing you with smart energy solutions that power our lives. Our energy efficiency programs help you save energy and money. From rebates on lighting and smart thermostats to appliance pickup and recycling, you can take advantage of cleaner, more cost-effective energy solutions right here, right now. IPL is now AES Indiana. We are accelerating the future of energy together.